What's up, everybody? This is week 5, show 5 of the LCS show that we call, thanks to this guy here, The Feed, guys, where we rank every team 1 to 10 after the previous weekend's game. The show is every Tuesday, 8 p.m. live here. We have callers at the end of the show here, and also in Twitch chat. We will take your question for you at either me or at DBSB in Twitch chat, guys. Heading into week 5, DBSB, I think I know what your number 1 is, right? Same as mine?
You got it.
Yeah, it's Team Liquid, guys. And let's talk about Team Liquid. They suffered their first loss of the split last weekend. A good game by, absolutely, BJ Flight is TL. A good game against TSM. TSM really was competitive throughout that whole game. But why is TL first in our list? Well, in a best of 5, who can beat them right now? DBSB Twitch chat. There's no one in NA that can beat them right now in a best of 5. Week 6 in a best of 5. Week 8 in a best of 5. Fucking finals in a best of 5 in NA. No one can beat a best of 5. They're really strong. They're really well put together. They got the best team fighting, best macro. And yeah, laning phase, they have started some slow starts, as we saw against TSM a little bit. But I don't think that's a big question mark. The question mark about TL, though, DBSB, we talked week to week. I said, I want to see how teams attack TL. And I'm not saying this was TSM's focus point, guys. But to be honest with you, the way they pressured top lane, hats off to Katie, by the way. Probably the best he's looked all split long, right, guys? Best he's looked all split long. Best week he's had in terms of that performance. But they really attacked Impact a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That Yorick pick, yeah, it was kind of questionable. But props to TSM for attacking Impact, to keep on attacking Impact, and really making his life really, really difficult. You could say Pickman was the reason why TL lost, but at the end of the day, TSM, they had a nice little lead mid-range, mid-game, and they were able to capitalize on it. Team Liquid, DBSB, same thing as you. They are the best team in NA. If I'm a Team Liquid fan, I'm not worried at all. Just clean up, our pick ban. But there are question marks that we talked about kind of once they get to Worlds. But as of right now, Team Liquid is still a top 10 team in the world and best in NA. Your thoughts on TL?
Yeah, I mean, they had a hiccup against TSM, right? And I think they just played a little sloppy. And like I said last week, I think losing a game is probably the best thing that
for sure.
to them, because it'll make them hungry. It'll make them understand they're human. The pressure's off on, having the undefeated season like Immortals or whoever else they're being compared to. So I think, I think it's good for them that this happened now. And I think you're right. I still think they're the class. They said they didn't have a good week of scrims, which is a little surprising to me. I think the power going to ADC ultimately helps them. Like it has some other teams like you see in EU and even Korea. But yeah, just kind of weird that they lost to TSM after TSM was, I believe, both of our 8th place teams, and they needed this 2-0 week. So yeah, Team Liquid number 1. I don't see anybody else being close to them. Hopefully we keep a competitive split.
That's what I said at TL. Like that's short and sweet, guys. TL is the best team in NA. Let's go to Team 2. I think we both probably agree on this, right? C9. Can I go C9 for your list as well?
Yep, C9 number 2, without a doubt. I mean, they've just looked really, really solid. I picked Echo Fox over them, and Echo Fox losing to 100 Thieves, which I wish I had that reversed because I would have been right. C9 just too solid across the board. I do want to see them pull out Blabber, though, especially against Liquid as they run that back here in a week or two.
I think with C9, guys, it's the same thing I always talk about, same thing with you guys. It's just like C9 is like the best of the best, right? You have Team Liquid, and you have C9 kind of, and you have everyone else. And C9 at their best against TL at a really high level, I still don't think C9 can beat Team Liquid in a best of 5 series, like unless Licorice goes balls to the walls and Niski. It's shitty to say every week we talk about this, but like I just don't see a window where C9 is ever better than TL in a best of 5. I don't see it. Strengths that C9 does have though is DBSB. We both agree that Licorice is the best top laner probably in NA.
Yep.
He is top to bottom with the way he's developed in a year. From tanks, from split pushes, he's just really, really consistent. I think Zazo and Sneaky are really, really consistent. I think Niski, I called him kind of overrated, but he's better than what I thought. But like you said, though, I don't know about Spence Garen. There's some games where, like against TSM or against CLG last week, where he just kind of threw,
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not good,
yeah.
but I think to mix things up, and people think Blabber is really good, and outside of him playing at the international stage, right, so he kind of struggled when they played the international events. That's why Sven we saw more of. But I think they should really give him, some league play right now, especially sitting at a solid second place, 6-2. Um, and I agree. I think you don't lose anything by swapping him and Sven out occasionally just to keep him fresh and keeping him out of academy.
I think the biggest thing with C9 guys is that like where if you guys are C9 coach DBS, if you guys like where can C9 improve apart? Like their macro can get a little bit better, their team fighting can get a little bit better, but like where is their strengths? To me, Zazel has to clean up and Svenskeren has to clean up. Those are the two positions, the two players on their team that they have to clean up. Their comps are good. Their shot calling is better than what we've seen in the past. But to me, Zazel's not playing at a high level yet. And neither is Svenskeren. He's not being that consistent. I want Svenskeren. I want to see more out of Svenskeren. I want to see him. Yeah, I know he's confident when he's making those aggressive, invades and things like that. I just want to see him have complete games, complete weeks where we see, wow, Svenskeren really did a lot this game. And right now he's kind of here and there, missing match. But with C9, they have some room for improvement. I'm just not sure how much more improvement they have. And really just at the end of the day, they're the second place team because I just don't think they can touch TL. I know not many NA teams can touch TL, but in my opinion, as of right now, though, guys, I think me and DB can probably name 3 other teams that probably have more room for growth than C9, and I think that's kind of scary, isn't it? Let's be honest, because there's a lot of teams that aren't playing at their best, and C9 is playing at a high level. So, in terms of room for growth, I think there's 2 or 3 teams that you probably see more. I'm not saying ceiling-wise. I'm just saying in terms of room for growth, I think we can see more out of a couple teams. In fact, the next thing we're going to talk about is this.
Who you got?
I got FlyQuest third place, guys. I've been seeing FlyQuest high. And everyone's saying the same thing. They, by far and away, have the best team synergy outside TL, probably maybe C9. They're top 3 in team synergy. They have a game plan to know how they want to prepare for it. Their comps have been pretty solid. I'm going to say this. I said how Pobalt was overrated. I said how Walter overrated. You know what? They're playing at a high level, guys. They're playing at a consistent, solid level, and they're playing at the level needed to make a semifinal appearance if they keep this pace up. They're playing really well. Yes, Pobelto's looking on Zoe. They probably take the Zoe away from then. But FlyQuest had a decent week, guys. 100 Thieves, they beat 100 Thieves. Then after that, they played Clutch Game. Both games are pretty... I used to say Walter was dog shit, but right now, I gotta say, right now, FlyQuest is playing really well. They're synergizing well, and they're a team that has room for growth, and Santorin DBSB has been a top 3 jungler in NA, without question. So I think FlyQuest is my third-place team heading into next week.
For sure. Now, we were exactly the same last week in our rankings, 1 to 10. Let's not forget that. So
yep.
I'm imagining we'll be different, but we're the same
Yeah,
here.
fourth will be different. Fourth will be different.
FlyQuest has looked really, really good, and they had another 2-0 week this week, right? So I think last week, the week before, they lost to Echo Fox when they shouldn't. They were in the driver's seat the whole way. And without that loss, it's like, they look super, super good, right? I think that's who they lost. Oh, no, CLG. Was it CLG they lost to?
Yep.
Who was it last
CLG,
week?
CLG, remember, because CLG...
Yeah, it was CLG. It was CLG they lost to. Yeah, I knew it was one of our teams. That they were... Yeah, that without that loss, they're looking just as good as Cloud9, and their team play is still the best. And and thanks for letting me say this. I've been saying this all along. Teams are going to start target banning that Riven. I'm very glad that the coaches have confidence in Viper to play the Riven.
Viper's been amazing. I'll say this, and you called it for preseason. Listen, Viper has been absolutely amazing. I think FlyQuest could have lost their Clutch Gaming game. We look at comps here. This is actually a game where I'm surprised the analyst desk didn't talk too much about it. Clutch Gaming was down 1 kill to 6. Okay, they were down 7 kills coming into 10-minute mark. Obviously, look at this. They have a late game team, and they actually clawed back. If it wasn't for Viper being disruptive in the mid game flanking, honestly, Clutch Gaming might have won this game. Honestly, I think it was that close. I don't know what you guys think, but I think this is that close. So I think Viper has been absolutely a great addition of FlyQuest. Better than I expected. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No problem. He's really good, but he's known for his Riven play. He's the best Riven in NA. That's widely known, and they're letting him pick it. And so I guarantee teams are going to take away that comfort pick because he is so confident on it that maybe he gives up a kill, which is rare, but he's going to be making plays. He's going to be pressuring those sidelines, and top lane is so important. And if you can get a carry in the top lane, it makes your team that much better, right? So, I mean, Impact is trying to play Yorick, and you know, I'm trying to think. Darshan is on Scion/Urgot duty, and all these tops that you're forced to play a tank. But when you get your top laner to play on a carry and it's a difference maker, the game changes for your whole team. So I still think Pobelter and Wild Turtle are underrated for what they give teams in terms of veteran leadership. Pobelter has done nothing but win, right? Immortals, Liquid, now FlyQuest. Like, why should we be surprised? Yet everybody still says he sucks, and Jensen's way better.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, Jensen is way
Pobelter
better.
has been a stud for
Pobelter.
Sure. Oh yeah, I don't know about way better. Like you maybe say mechanically better. Like, I'll give him that he's probably more skilled. But there's no way he's better in terms of what he offers a team. Like, no way. It has not been proven.
I want to say this. I want to say this, DBS, because this is something I said in Reddit. I'd love to say it even more so as we go on here. But so when you're first of all, there's nothing wrong with just me and you on the same page. For an owner, a coach, there is nothing wrong with winning NA and that's it, right? Coming first in NA, winning that, and just being a domestic powerhouse like TSM was for years, there is no problem with that at all. If an owner were to say, our goal is to win NA every single year and that's it, I would have no faults with that, and neither should anyone, okay? Now, I want to talk about Pobelter. If your aspirations, though, is clearly to be above that, and to be above a domestic powerhouse, but to be a world-renowned team, a team that said we can get to semifinals year in, year out, MSI, international events, we're a team to be reckoned with, and to be a top 5 team in the world, that's where I think Pobelter is absolute. Like TL did, you have to give him the boot. You have to give him the boot and give someone like Jensen, who may have some lower lows maybe, but he's just a tier of player that you need if you want to compete. Maybe not win a Worlds, but to say we have a chance. And with Pobelter, you're never going to have a chance. Every time he's at Worlds, we see him. He's down 20 CS. He's getting pushed in. Even on his comfort picks, a safe laning phase, he just cannot do it. So if you're a team like Team Liquid, your goal is to win Worlds, or at least say to make a top 4 finish, that's where I think Pobelter just isn't the right pick. But if FlyQuest, their aspirations are just to make the plus and make a potential deep run, you're right. I was wrong saying Pobelter is overrated. I think he's a perfect fit for this team. He would have been a good fit for 100 Thieves. Now that I look at it, I thought he would have been a little bit better because of what he does. Talk that later. But Pobelter right now, like you said, he's been playing well on that Zoe. And Pobelter, yeah, I guess I got to eat my words a little bit, because I thought if your goal is to just win Worlds, he's fine. I think you can do that. Or to win NA, yeah, it's fine. But Viper's been absolutely great. And it's not just his Riven. Like, he's been okay in some of his other champion pools. So he's someone that, give him another split, he's going to be, like DBSB said, someone that's worthy.
Right,
so.
But his Riven's special. And I suppose you're right. Like, when you talk about things at a world stage, and I guess that's
it's better. Yeah,
like, on now.
For NA, yeah, he's fine. I agree with that.
I would say Jensen has more upside, but as you're talking, NA mid laners and how they play and function within a team, I think you could do a lot worse than Pobelter. So
absolutely. I think Pobelter right now has been probably the third best mid in NA, actually. Right, guys? I think he's third. I mean, yeah, from week 1 to week 5, week 4, yeah, he's been the third best mid laner, for sure.
I don't even know who you put ahead of him, I guess. That's a different discussion. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. 4th place team for me is actually TSM. This is where we went to favor. TSM, guys, they had a 2-0 week, but the way they played against Team Liquid was this. TSM is known for getting some leads in laning phase throughout the years and not doing anything. Since they got Zix, since they have a Kaden, since they have Smoothie, they've been trying to get leads, push their leads. Hasn't been pretty, but just continue the pressure. Guess what, DBSB? They failed at that earlier on this year. This weekend, especially against TL, they did not back down. They said, Team Liquid, we will not get into we'll stall it out, wait for 45 minutes, see what happens. We're going to come into mid with the lead, and we're going to keep shoving lanes, keep pressure on, and that's exactly what they did. TSM was my 4th place team, and I'm a TSM fan. It's not just why they beat Team Liquid, that's why they're 4th, but how they beat it, and how against Optic, even though it was a little bit rougher, at least how they did it. This team is growing. I think Zix is doing a good job. I think this team's starting to fly out, and if a Kitty can play like he did against that Liquid game, I think this is going to be a team that could not be a top 2 team, but to be a perennial top 3 team in NA and a team that's going to show growth week in, week out. We're talking about teams that had more growth than C9. This is the team that I was talking about, as well as FlyQuest. They have tons of room for growth. And if Smoothie can clean up his play and Akaden cleans up his play, this team, like we said last week, just can be scary. And Broken Blade, like some of the NA, like let's say top laners who are maybe not like Impact where they know how to TP, know how to team fight, know how to split push like correct. But let's talk about like Viper and Broken Blades, like top laners who are just so micro good, guys, mechanically good. Like Broken Blade has so much room for growth. It's not even funny, and he's been like a little monster almost. Not great. He's not been a top 2, maybe top 3 top laner, but you can say, holy shit, give this guy like 10 more weeks, and the sky's the limit for him. TSM's my 4th place team, DBSB. Who's yours?
Yep, TSM. So I don't know how. Yeah, TSM seems like the obvious choice because there's 3 teams. There's 3 teams that are 4-4.
Yeah.
And they just had a 2-0 week, and they beat the best team in the league, right?
Yep.
So you got to give them. We have to give them credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And you're right. I still don't. I don't think Acadian's the answer. I was talking him up in the preseason. I think he hasn't looked very good. I think maybe they play better when the pressure's off of them, right? Like when everybody's thinking they're pretty bad instead of like one of the best teams. Maybe that helps them.
Yep.
And also enabling, once again, just like FlyQuest enabling Viper, you hit it. TSM enabling Broken Blade is a huge help. Like he's going against Impact. Impact's on Yorick, and he plays Jax, right? They first pick the Yorick, and so TSM can say, okay, Broken Blade, your job is to hold the lane, or your job is to whoop Impact's ass. And they chose the latter, and it worked out. Like they matched split for split. Yorick got pushed in. He got his shit pushed in, and there's nothing you can do when Jax gets that new item, that Sword of Sojin or whatever it's called, or Spear of Sojin.
Yep.
And he's just jumping all over the place, like jumping out of the Yorick traps, just out DPSing him. It's like there's no way Team Liquid can win that game. Like they were out of it. Once Jax gets ahead of a Yorick and can outpush him, that game's over. Like you totally take Impact out of the game. So yeah, that game wasn't really in question. Like maybe in the first 15 minutes, and after that, TSM, you thought, based on what we've seen, they might struggle to close it out, and they just ran through it. It looked easy. So if they keep that up, they should fit in line with where we had them as a top. For sure, a top 4 team. Right now, we've got them at 4th. It would not shock me if they end up, taking over FlyQuest or C9 even, in the future. But, really good win for them. I'd be hard-pressed to put anybody else there.
I think TSM, if you're a TSM fan, I think the sky's looking up. I know it was gloom and doom the first 2-3 weeks. The guy I still have question marks for this team. I always want to talk about question marks. To me, it's Smoothie is kind of looking a little lost sometimes, and I don't know how much growth we can see in Akaden. I talked about how Akaden's weakness is once it gets to mid-game team fights, he just does not know what the fuck to do. Not in like a rain over like the lost way, but just like he just forces it, doesn't look as clean, as smooth, you know what I'm saying? Looks a lot better in the early game, but I think he'll get better as he gets more experience, as he just succumbs to the pressure, accepts the pressure, and is more free-flowing as his team gets better as well. I think TSM's win condition just camp top lane. Get Broken Blake ahead. He should learn how to split push the next couple weeks. So just get him ahead, pick him priority top laners, and make the game easy. Because not only is that going to enable Broken Blade, but it'll enable Akaden as well. Because Bjergsen can get leads on his own. Sven and Smoothie are good enough to go even. And Sven's a guy who's a low econ ADC, right? We talk about it all the time. Like, Sven's one of the best low econ ADCs in the world 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? One of them. So I think TSM, they have their win condition. They know how to play the game. I think they got to clean up mid game and late game for sure. But it's a growth process, a room for improvement.
For sure. And just a last thing, next week they've got CLG and FlyQuest, right? So those are 2 potential mid-tier teams. Tough matches.
That's a big week for them.
Right, so we'll learn a lot next week. They might have the game of the day, both of those days, honestly.
Oh, for sure. I think so. Absolutely. 5th place team is this. Because of how Sunday shaped up, I'm going to go with Echo Fox, which is kind of scary for you guys. Because I still think Echo Fox is dog shit, man. I really do, DBSB chat. I don't know how they're winning games.
They're going to go 1-1.
I don't know how they're winning games, because I'll talk about why I have the 6th place team in 6. But Echo Fox is Apollo Hawk, they're playing solid. I think the way Phoenix is laning is just really, really solid. Like, he's just a really, really solid. Doesn't know how to play. His ward tempo game is super, super bad. Like, he has no idea how to play without vision. He particularly has vision all the time. That's what I meant. Like, he seems like he has vision all the time, which he doesn't. And he just goes for these stupid shoves, stupid advances, which is dumb. But I don't think he'll ever learn, which is a big question mark. But this team, they beat C9. They lost to
No.
C9, and then they beat 100 Thieves here, as we see here. And this team, I don't know what to say, guys. I think they're not very good. They're surprising the fuck out of me. I think they'd only have 4 wins by now, but they have, I think, 6 or 5 already.
4-4.
Four. Yeah, 4. I mean, I thought they'd have only 2 here, half of what they have. But Echo Fox, very, very impressive. Phoenix, Rush is actually kind of, he looks better now than he looked at C9, and I know we should see improvement, but he's playing a macro focused game. He's not just going for skirmish all the time. He's playing the map better. I'm impressed by what I see by Rush actually. So Echo Fox, my 4th place team. Or my 5th place team. I don't see how they can be. I just don't see improvement for this team. I don't know how much better they can be. I don't know where their growth is. I think 5th is their limit if they play at their best. And that's that for Echo Fox. You're the Echo Fox fan, though. You have the orange beard, orange team. Go ahead.
That's right. Okay, so I actually put, so you can adjust your rankings. I put CLG here.
Wow,
so,
okay. Wow,
well,
look at this.
Well, they won the head-to-head over Echo Fox,
They
right?
did,
So
they did,
once
yeah,
I picked
they did.
TSM, I just had to give CLG credit. So I put CLG here, and I have Echo Fox as 6th.
Yep, right.
But so since we're talking about Echo Fox and they're my boys, I will say I've been pleasantly surprised. I'm sad that I picked this incorrectly. I guess like if you go with our previous power rankings, I guess we should have seen if I picked them going 1-1, they should have lost to C9 and beat 100 Thieves. But you're right. So against C9, they never really had an advantage. I think Apollo and Hakuo are playing really, really well. Afromu was saying in an interview, like, teams have to ban Thresh because Hakuo is probably the best Thresh in the league. And so
Potentially, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, potentially he goes well, besides from me, but we all know, I mean, he's been Afromu's been playing like dog shit. So
yeah.
So Hakuo has been really good, so that's been a pleasant surprise in the bot lane. And Rush keeps control of games. So even if they're losing a game, a lot of times he'll have objective control, and so that can keep them in it. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that he's playing the macro better than opposing junglers, and I think that's what his experience in Korea really helped him with, is understanding you don't have to fight all the time. You have to keep control of certain areas of map and give advantages, and then hopefully your team can do better in the long haul and win the big fights, which you saw, last week when they beat who was it that they beat in that second day last week?
Who, Echo Fox?
Oh, it was FlyQuest. Yeah, so they beat FlyQuest. Yeah, so that's what I was saying earlier. They beat FlyQuest after that being like way down. So those are the things that you'll see from Echo Fox. I still don't think Solo is going to be very
Solo's
good.
dog shit. Yeah, I've been saying
I
that
really hope.
all year. He's dog shit.
I really hope one of these mid-level teams that needs a top makes a play. So it could be CLG or Echo Fox makes a play for a guy like TF Blade, who is inexperienced but clearly very talented, and you can see that there's tons of upside and room for growth there. And so I hope they play for him, because Liquid's not going to use him, right? It's like you don't see them subbing.
I don't think we'll ever see
for him at any time.
I don't think we'll ever see TF Blade in the LCS. That's just me. I just don't think so. I don't know how his stream's doing.
No,
but you're right though.
To
talk to him though.
He's a very skilled player, and if you're looking for fresh blood,
and that's where it's going, right? We saw Viper, we saw
right.
Broken Blade. That's where it's going. Yeah,
yep.
That's where
Viper, Broken Blade, Licorice last year. So he's the guy that I want to see these guys make a push for, and I think that can make a difference for their entire season. But yeah, I've got them as my 6th place team right now. I hope they make the playoffs. Remember our preseason rankings, we had them 10th, so it still wouldn't shock me if they fell off the train here. But never been 0-2 in a week for Rush's history in the LCS. So let's hope that continues.
Well, that's why your 5th place team then. CLG.
Yep.
That was my 6th place team, but go ahead. Yeah, as your 5th place team, so let's talk about that. Go ahead.
Yep. No, CLG is. I feel like this new meta is going to be good for them, right? So they had a chance to have another 2-0 week after last week, being okay. So they looked awful, then they looked pretty good, and then they looked really good. Or no, they looked good, then pretty good. And then this week, if they beat Golden Guardians, they have another 2-0 week. And so that's the thing. I just want to see consistency out of them. I still want to see more out of Wiggly. We know we need to see more out of Darshawn, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that
And
pick when I talk to
right,
CLG. Yeah,
but I think this is going to help Biofrost and
Stixie.
uh, yeah, Stixay a lot, and we know what we have in Power of Evil, right? So I still think he is very, very skilled. I think meta changes aren't going to affect Power of Evil at all. It's only going to affect how he plays around as a team, right? So I think if they fix the top side of the map and just play out these team fights a little better, they had, against who's the team they ended up losing to
Golden
just
Guardians. It
last
was
week?
that top
No,
lane
no,
pick.
100 Thieves.
Oh,
It was the
Thieves,
fight.
Yeah. Yep.
It was the fight where at Baron, after Baron, they could have caught Bang. They decided not to, keep pursuing that. They went in different directions, and they lost the game just because of that. So these are the things that I think if they do better, they could easily compete with anybody 2 through 6, and I think they should beat the lower level teams. But they just have to. They have to be more consistent on the top side of the map. They have to, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if you just babysit Darshawn or what, but
yeah,
he's now a lower tier top in the league,
He's-
and top is turning into one of the most important positions in the league.
And I'm gonna be honest with this. If you're a CLG fan, CLG lost to Golden Guardians. We're a 6th place team. When that Darshawn pick into Aatrox, I think I texted you as well. I was like, this is just like, it is. People want to bitch about the impact Yorick top pick. Yorick's a fucking S tier pick. He's an S tier pick. Aatrox has fallen off the fucking cliff. They're not even picking banning Aatrox anymore, guys. And they let the Urgot go through it. What they do, they pick fucking Aatrox. If you're a CLG fan watching that game, that probably one of the most just absolutely frustrating game maybe you've ever seen in a long time. Even compared to last year, it was just so frustrating just watching Darshawn just completely just be literally play a fucking high plat level. It was just disgusting. They're my 6th place team because maybe that game just left a really, really bad taste in my mouth. But even the way they played around it just with CLG right now, we guys are consistent. So I said all game long, we have their identity. We know their identity that want to play slow. They want to play at a slower pace, kind of try to play for more late game. But the reason why they're 6th place for me is that now we've got to see more out of Wiggly now. It's going to be half the split, and if he does not improve and he stagnates, I know he's a... And don't tell me, oh, he's a fucking rookie. Fuck! So's Viper! So's fucking Broken Blade. Broken Blade's not a rookie, really. He has a split there. But you know what I'm talking about, guys. We've got to see more impact out of Wiggly now. He's not playing the champs, which have a big impact, but we've got to see him do more. Do they camp Darshawn? Maybe they try to get Power of Evil ahead more in early game. They've got to figure out how to use Wiggly and how they want to use him. But right now, CLG 6 behind all these teams. I think a best of 5, they're too inconsistent. Wiggly's kind of inconsistent. Sure. Darshawn is too consistent. And I told you last week, what happens when they ban Sion? What happens at Darshawn? Well,
yeah, exactly. You got to figure it out. You got to keep Darshawn on tank duty, right? Sion, Urgot, Ornn. I don't care. He's got to be on tank duty. Can't give him anything else.
It's set in stone, absolutely. And if they want to scale for mid lane, that's fine because PoE doesn't really roam much, if at all. It's like Bjergsen doesn't really roam too much. Darshawn's a guy who's not going to be outplay, so just have him lose gracefully, you know what I'm saying? And their bot lane, while can win games, they can play against a TL bot lane and still pretty much go even or compete when they're at their best, in my opinion. So that's fine. They're 6 because I need to see more consistency out of them from some of their players. And hopefully we do see that growth. They're a team that has room for growth as well, just like FlyQuest, like TSM, where, hey, at their ceiling, maybe they can knock on 3rd place door, be in that 3rd or 4th range potentially if they're playing at a high level, With Darshawn, I'm not sure actually, but yeah, Darshawn's a question mark. CLG, if you guys are in the chat or whatever, I think Darshawn, I hate to say it, but he is a question mark. Is he the worst top in the league? Well, when Hanser was supposed to be one of the worst tops in the league, and you see what Hanser did and how he carried that, it's just, in a 1v1 basis, that's a big yikes. So CLG 6, but better than last split, though. Better than last split, and with the next week coming up, I think they have a lot. They can show a lot next week. My 7th place team is GG. This is probably the team that showed the most improvement to me. I know they only have 3 wins, but they look like absolute dogs for the first 2 weeks. Credit to Nero, who I used to shit on. GG is my 7th place team, Golden Guardians. Their team is looking a little bit better, step by step. Maybe against CLG, if they don't get Hansen, if they don't fucking rip on Darshawn, maybe it's a different game. But Golden Guardians to me is a 7th place team. I still think that out of all the teams I've listed, I think they should be better than Echo Fox for sure. Ahead of CLG, maybe we'll see what happens. But this Golden Guardians team, they're slowly but steadily increasing. Their macro is getting better. I think Definitely and Ole are actually playing a lot better than the first 2 weeks. I think Froggen's consistently good. I think Contracts, especially last week in their game on I think Saturday, he just played well. This team on paper, we said that they could be a top 5, top 6 team. They're showing that they're improvement, and I think with Gordon Garden, if you're Gordon Garden's fan, you're just happy to see that growth.
Yeah, I actually put 100 Thieves as my 7th place team. They had no in 2 week, but they looked good before that.
Who'd you have?
I have 100 Thieves.
Oh,
And
wow.
I got Golden Guardians 8th.
Wow.
So I don't. What's the wow, man? What's the wow? They're both 3 and
100
5.
Thieves
So
look like dog shit though. 100 Thieves lately, 100 Thieves does not look good. Go ahead.
I don't know about what lately. They just had a 2-0 week last week, right?
And this week it was
So-
complete reversal. 1-A. Go ahead. Say what you have to say first. Say what you have to say. Yeah.
Right, and they just beat Golden Guardians last week, so whatever. Anyway, this Golden Guardians is who we're talking about, and I said I wasn't going to pick them in any game after they started 0-4, and sure enough, since they've gone 0-4, they're 3-1 since, with their only loss coming to Liquid. So they have done a lot better. I think they're learning how to play together. I think they do have good talent, right? So this is what all the analysts have said all along. When you talk about Haunter and Froggen and Contracts, definitely Ole, like that should be a pretty skilled team. So it's all if they get the team coordination. But I could see them being as good as a FlyQuest once they get that for sure, because they're all individually skilled. They all can win their lanes respectively, and so yeah, they're a pretty good team. I still have them 7th, just out of the playoffs. Would not shock me if they could jump anywhere in that.
Yeah, wait. Who do you have 7th? I thought you said 100 Thieves was 7th.
I do, but you had Golden Guardians 7th,
Yeah.
so I'm talking about them.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So we're talking about the same team, and then I would hope you have 100 Thieves next. So I guess we'll talk about that in a minute. So we're just swapping the order, but yeah, so Golden Guardians has been really good these last 2 weeks, 3-1 the past 2 weeks. Let's hope they keep it up. So who do they have coming up on deck? They've got Clutch, they should win that, and they've got Echo Fox, definitely winnable, right? So they could go 5-1 in their 3rd, 4th, and 5th weeks. So I would be very easy to move them up in my power rankings. So anyway, I still have them 8th, but they could move up.
8th and 9th to me was a coin toss. I actually had CG in 8th. I actually had CG in 8th. And the reason being is
they're 2 and 6.
I understand that. But the problem with CG, with the problem with 100 Thieves is that 100 Thieves this week looked absolutely fucking lost. At least Clutch Gaming, they got 0-2'd, but there was a game against FlyQuest where they had an awful fucking early phase. They fought back. They could have won that. And they played like dogs. They could have won that game. And against who they play on Saturday? I think it was CLG. Yeah, against CLG, that game was a little bit more of a...
Clutch play?
Yeah. It was a little bit more of a... This is more stubborn than the other one, but still, I think Clutch Gaming looked a lot better than 100 Thieves. Yes, 100 Thieves probably had a better, tougher competition, but I'm just very disappointed with 100 Thieves with how they turned out, guys. Like, this complete team just, like, they did not look good at all. I'm not talking 100 Thieves on that because they're not even on my list here, but I have Clutch Gaming 8th because Lyra and Hooney right now are dog shit. DBSP, shake your head, yes or no? They are complete dog shit.
Yeah, that's where I would go with it.
Their mental, and I don't know where their mental is, I don't know where their confidence is, but they're playing at a super, super awful level. But DeMonte's playing well. Piglet's playing really well, actually, guys. I actually shit on Piglet, actually. It wasn't Lyra, it wasn't Hooney, really. I shit on Piglet. Piglet's playing really, really well, actually, guys. Really solid. I think Vulcan's played solid, too. I think DeMonte's played well, too. So it was kind of a 180 where just, like, even though I thought Hooney looked like dog shit last week, I thought he'd pick it up. But this Clutch Gaming team, they looked a little bit better than 100 Thieves. That's why I have CG 8th. I think the best of 5 CG 100 Thieves, I think it's super, super close. I really do a best of 5. I think I would maybe, with how last split went, I would actually might have CG over 100 Thieves. I really would. But go ahead. Talk about your 8th place team. Well, you already talked about it a little bit, so.
I talked about my 8th, so I'll talk about my 7th, which is 100 Thieves. Yeah. I think, like, we don't disagree hard, or we haven't since this first week, but this is, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy to think.
I'm not dog shit. 100 Thieves look like dog shit. I don't know what you watch. 100 Thieves look like dog shit. Huey, there's no hope for, right now, I'm going to say it, guys. I expected this team to have good macro by now. It's not hard to have Bang and Hughie. Hughie has synergy with your team. It's not hard to look like a top 5 team in fucking NALCS, the LCS. It's not fucking hard. They haven't done that. They have looked lost. They have looked beaten. Sumner's getting beaten lane. Fucking their bot lane's not playing well. Fucking Anda is still just in and out, in and out. Hughie's look like dog shit. This 100 team, you're quite crazy to have him say, this 100 Thieves team has looked like dog shit. Probably has yet to figure out how to get this synergized teamwork to work. And after this team should have been a 1-3-1 god, take a best team in macro. They have been everything but that. It's just disappointed by 100 Thieves, like absolutely.
Yeah, you're insane.
Yeah,
okay,
just,
so
go ahead. Go talk.
Okay, so first week they were kind of underwhelming. They lost to the very first week. They lose to TSM and Cloud9, right? I'm just running this back for you so you remember, because obviously you've lost your mind, right? So they lose to C9 and TSM.
Yep.
You got that?
Yep.
Then on Saturday they play Team Liquid. So what's gonna happen? They lose that. So they start 0-3. Okay, they play potentially the 3 best teams in the league, right?
Yeah, they had a toughest schedule coming out. Yeah.
Okay, right. And so since then, they beat Golden Guardians, they beat Clutch, they beat CLG, and then they just lost to FlyQuest, so there's 4. So they've lost to the 4 teams they should have, right? TSM, D9, Liquid, FlyQuest, who we all have high. And then the only thing that's outlandish, and it shouldn't be outlandish to you, because you have Echo Fox 5th, I have them 6th, is they lost to Echo Fox, which is a coin flip game, and Echo Fox doesn't lose on Sundays. That's just par for the course. I don't think they've looked bad. I think they should beat every team that's rated lower than them, like every single team. So this week, this coming week, they've got Optic, could be a win.
Should be a win.
Should be a win. Yeah. They've got Liquid again, which, quote me on this, don't count them out. Don't count them out against Liquid. Bang in the bot lane. New ADC changes. 100 Thieves can still win that game.
Yeah, they're not gonna play Victor. Hopefully, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like, yeah, why would you play a Victor bot? So I don't think they're nearly as bad as you thought. I still have them 7th, so I've dropped them a bit from last week after they had a pretty good last week. So, yeah, I've got a lot of faith in that bot lane. I still have faith in Aframo. He's not looked good, but he's been an MVP candidate in the past splits. So, I think he will get back on track. Bang is still really good. Huhi, I agree, probably not the best mid laner. That's their weakness. Anda hasn't been good.
And I thought that taking Huey over Pobe out there was actually for what they want to do. I didn't think 100 Thieves is a team that could compete for Worlds. So I would have went hard after Power of Evil, even though Power of Evil doesn't really work on their game plan much. I don't know if it's hard, but like,
and Someday just.
But here's the thing, though. Ready?
Someday just needs to be better.
Yeah,
They're putting him on carries. Like, they're equipping Someday to win, and he's not. It's like they pick that Jace early, and Echo Fox gets last pick, and they pick a Malphite. It's like, okay, after 12 minutes of that game, it's like, what's Jace gonna do? Like, absolutely nothing. So it's just crazy that, I mean, they're trying to put him on a carry and say, hey, win this for us, but they don't need to do that. They just need to play to their strengths. Bot lane, pick him a champ he can win on, he can make some plays on, but I don't think they found the answer yet. I still think they can blossom all the way up, like as far as 2nd place. But right now, I've got them in 7th. You don't even have them in your top 8, which I think is just absolutely outlandish.
Yeah, here's the thing with 100 Thieves. I mean, first of all, for you guys in chat, 100 Thieves, absolutely. I had them, I think, 4th coming into the preseason split. I think this team, even especially on paper, if they even play not great but good, they should be a top 4 team. And here's why. They should have the best top and the 2nd best top in NA. They should have the 2nd best macro in NA. And because of that, they should have the best 1-3-1 in NA as well. Their 1-3-1 should be absolutely godlike. I said that Huey was a better pickup than Pobelter because I thought 100 Thieves would be the best macro team and be the best 1-3-1 shot calling team. That hasn't happened. That's why I'm very disappointed. Like, that's absolutely what I'm just very disappointed about, because to me, this 100 Thieves team, on paper, they should easily be a top 5 team because they don't add anything crazy pieces in there. Like, Huey should be a seamless transition to Ryu. Huey should talk more. Yeah, his mechanics aren't great, but he should be able to play his comfort picks like Ace or shit like that and be able to actually go even and be able to 1-3-1 and play the map really, really well. That hasn't happened. I'll say 100 Thieves, though. I think Anda is that guy who's more that medium slight guy. Okay, I guess he's less cancerous. Okay, I've seen that from Anda, guys. I called Anda dog shit. You know what? He probably is dog shit, but at least I think I know what 100 Thieves trying to do with him. They're trying to make him more be like this, like kind of like a very versatile jungler of that mill, like a splash of Dardoch and a splash of Midas. I know it sounds really really stupid, like a splash of Dardoch, a splash of Midas, splash of like Smithy, a little bit of everything. He's gonna be like a bottom 5 jungler in my opinion, bottom 4 jungler. I don't think he talks at all. But I kind of see what Thieves wants to do with him. I think that plan. But to me, I'm just very disappointed with how they're laning, how they're coming out in the first 20 minutes. And yes, a lot of it to do is with Anda, with Huhi. They have no synergy, mid jungler synergy. But I'm just very, very disappointed. The way they played last week, I know what you're saying. This is about week 1 through week now, DBSP. I get it. And to have them in 9th might seem egregious. But to me, if they came in next week in a best of 5, I would take all these other teams, ahead of 100 Thieves in the best of 5. And CG has 2 wins, but at least last week, we saw how they fought. We saw they had a game plan, DBSB. I don't know what the fuck 100 Thieves' game plan was. What the fuck is 100 Thieves' game plan? I have no fucking clue. You shake your head because you don't fucking know either. And someday, I'm sorry, but Sunday's been like maybe the 5th best. This team looks like dog shit. They're going to be better. They will finish top 5. Mark my words. They will finish top 5, but they're looking like dog shit right now. And heading into next week, I have no...
What did you see from Clutch in their 0-2? They lost to Counter Logic Gaming, and they lost to FlyQuest. What did you see? What is this magic that you saw from them?
That FlyQuest game they could have won, right? They could have won that game because they literally picked losing lanes, right? Which they kind of did lose, okay? They were down 7 kills, chat. They were down 7 kills against a FlyQuest team. Let's bring this game up. What was it at? Fuck. What was it at? Yeah, right here. They were down... They were down, I think, 7 kills early on with the Karthus. Didn't do anything. Like, Laird didn't do much that game at all. Like, they misplayed well. They misplayed awfully. But they had a chance to still win that game. They had a gold lead, like a 4K gold lead with 25 minutes in with losing lanes that they were scaling. If they don't have an egregious fuck-up through mid lane, Viper, I'll give credit to Viper a little bit. Even though Viper was fucking, 2 items ahead of Sion, and it wasn't like he was being a nuisance, but it wasn't the fact, like, holy shit, Viper's carrying the game. It was like, holy shit, like, Clutch Gaming picked losing lanes, and they're now slightly ahead. Like, this shouldn't happen. The way Clutch Gaming played this weekend showed a lot more grit and passion than 100 Thieves did. And I think Clutch Gaming is a team that just, we both think their ceiling's 10th, or their ceiling could be like 5th, basement could be 10th. Looks like their basement's probably going to be where it's going to be at. But I just saw more game plan. I saw more consistency out of Clutch Gaming this week than I did 100 Thieves last week. And right now, I think he's going to play better. Bang and Afro are going to play better. This 100 Thieves team is going to be better than Clutch Gaming when it's all said and done. But right now, I'm just very disappointed with the lack of energy, the lack of focus, the lack of direction. Who's your 9th place team?
Yeah, I've got Clutch as my 9th place team.
Talk about Clutch a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just... Yeah, I mean, they'll go... I'm going to keep repeating myself. They'll go as far as Huni takes them, and Huni has been bad. It's like, I don't know. I think he's more worried about getting paid at this time, right? So we talked about, like, traditional sport. When people get their contracts, it's like they kind of fall off, right? It's like they've got nothing else to prove. And I feel like that's how Huni is. Like, he doesn't aspire to be Faker. He aspires to have a lot of money, right?
And
so
fun, yeah.
so that's probably you know, maybe a little unfair for me to say, but that's what I've seen. Like, I've never seen him this whole year put the team on his back and just straight up win a game, and that's what you should see. Like, he should be the best top, and he's a bottom 3 top right now, in my opinion.
For sure. Chad, you guys agree? Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, he has been bad, and everybody talks him up. Everybody knows he's skilled. So it's now, okay, care a little more. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm good and I make $1 million a year because people pay me to do that. No, go out there and stomp your lane. Quit losing. Quit getting solo killed by like Solo and Broken Blade.
And we have young
tops.
upcoming tops who want to win, who want to make a name for themselves. So now it's like, if you're one of those, and this is where I credit Impact. Like, Impact's not a guy who just phoned it in, played Overwatch, played fucking Fortnite, whatever. Like, he's actually still competing. He's still playing a little bit of solo queue. He's still competing. I'm not questioning anything that Huni does at all. I'm not saying he has no passion, no heart. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying right now, top lane's very, very, probably the most competitive role, I think, in LCS ahead of mid. And because of that, he's got to step up. Let's be honest, he's just got to step up. Like him and Lira both.
He's got to step up. He's got to carry the team, and maybe he
But
knows
not,
that.
it's
Maybe
not
he
even
doesn't.
carry
He's
at
gotta-
this point. It's just like don't get fucking 1v1 super easily. Now with this against a FlyQuest team, he did roam a little bit. This weekend he was roaming a lot. He's been more of a team player, so like I'm not gonna use as an excuse. He is roamed.
No.
He roamed mid a couple times when he shouldn't have. When Oduhi would have probably just shoved
Here's-
his lane in. But he's not playing at all. Even with that, give him his pick, counter pick. It's to the point where you give Huni a counter pick. Can he even win it? Can he even snowball his fucking lane? I don't know. And with Lyra fucking feeding too, like invading and just like dying 1v2, I don't know either. So yeah, there's issues here.
Huni's what, 21 or 22?
I
one
think
of those.
22 now. Yeah, he was supposed to be young, but I think
He's pretty young. Yeah, I know a little something about 21 and 22-year-olds,
Yeah.
and they need they're still kids, right? There's some who have the drive,
Yep.
and if you give a 21, 22-year-old kid $1 million, it's hard to make him care about much else. And the only reason I'm saying this, and I hate when the media does this, so now I'm just being this douchebag, is like after they lose to FlyQuest, it's like he's giving all these guys like hugs after the good job. It's like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, come on, like have some drive. Like you should hate losing to a team like that. Like whoop their ass. Just I want to see him care more and single-handedly carry games. I know I'm shitting on him a lot, but
yeah.
I need him
He's getting paid a lot.
I need him to be better. I need him to be better.
We both have inside sources. We can't really say where his sources are, especially I know you have inside sources. He's getting paid a pretty penny.
Yeah.
He's getting paid a pretty
he
guys.
is.
Huni's getting paid a pretty penny, and Viper and Broke are not getting paid as much as him. Like, is that fair to say, DBSB?
Yeah, and I think salaries will be shortly, if they're not already. It's pretty easy to find, but they'll be public.
Yeah, I
They'll
want
be
to ask you
public,
something.
just like traditional leagues.
Yeah, after this list, I wanna ask you a question. Who's your 10th place team?
So there's only one left. It's Optic.
Hey, we both agree on this. How about that? We both agree. Optic's a team like I don't know. I don't know what else you see from Arrow. I don't know what the fuck else you see from Arrow. I really don't. Medius has looked good though. Medius has looked like a top 6 jungler though, top 5 jungler. He has. I know your boys don't have, but
Doesn't
he's
matter.
playing really well. Even with his Olaf, he was almost carrying the game a little bit, like giving him some leads on Olaf, a champion that he's used to be really known for, an aggressive style jungler. Medius is a good jungler, guys. Like I hate to say it, but like I thought he was washed up. He's a good jungler. Like he's a good jungler just right now. And from Dokla, who had one good week. I said Dokla was dog shit a year ago,
You're right.
and he's a
You're
guy
right.
who has one good game, then 5 dog shit fucking games.
And you know who he's solo killing? Huni.
That tells you who he's at. But Optic,
Yeah.
at this point, I don't know Arrow and Dokla. I guess give him another week, but I would have fucking shit canned Arrow back to fucking Korea, where the fuck he's from. Chinese Taipei, where the fuck he's from. Probably Korea, but I don't think Korea wants him. But like, I think I give Asta a chance now. If Arrow, if Arrow doesn't improve, I would have gotten Asta in there. And then Dokla, I think it's time where like he can only play. I think Dokla's a great flex player. Well, if it's a split push meta big time, if you're not gonna split push, don't fucking get him in there. That's my point. Go ahead. Optic.
Yeah, I mean, Medios can be awesome. He can be a top 6 jungler in the league, but he's not the best jungler in the league, and that's what it takes. So that's why I think they're kidding themselves by not putting Dardoch in there. So, yeah, they're gonna stay 10th until they win some more games, until they beat some teams, and until they decide like, hey, Dardoch and Asta are actually going to be better in these positions, like compared to the league. Arrow hasn't been awful, but we've seen what we need to see from Arrow. Like let
Ship his
Asta
ass
play
back.
the
Why
rest-
did they give him the visa? They waited first week to have a visa. Fucking they takes the visa. Be like, yo, here's your money. Get the fuck out. Buy out money. Get the fuck out. Give him like $50 of
Well, it's
RP.
just
Be
like,
like, that's it.
You're a last place team. Like give Asta the experience. Like I think he can be good. I think he can be good, and I would at least like to see that. Like that's more watchable. Like you can't tell me people would rather see Medios and Arrow than Dardoch and Asta on that team, right? So I don't know what the Optic fans are saying, so I need to we used to have some of them that were watching this, right? Somebody
Yep.
was Team Green in here that was
Yep.
watching your stream,
Yep.
but I guess I need to go to their Reddit and see what people are saying. But I think they're kidding themselves by not playing
I think.
Dardoch and Asta. And sure, for crying out loud, like
Well,
put
Medius
Medios
is
in
look good
support. I
though,
don't
so
care.
Medius is look good too. You know what I'm saying? So like that, the egregious part is
Yeah,
Asta
exactly.
Arrow.
That's what I said.
The Asta
Let-
Arrow thing is egregious.
Put him in at support. Put him in at support. Let him carry from. Let him play Pike support. I don't care. Get bigger Gate out of there. Like make that team exciting to watch. Like get them both in there. I'm fine with that.
Guys, this is a list for the week. Anything you want to talk about the list, DBSP? I know you don't like my 100 Thieves pick. We'll see. We're going to go into picks here soon, but anything you want to say about our list? Anything that
It's insane.
look at? I think it's a pretty solid list, though.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about picks last week? So,
Yeah, hold on. Before we go that, I want to
so
ask you a question. I want to ask you a
go ahead.
question. Should there, a year from now, be salary caps in League of Legends? This is something a lot of people don't really like. If you guys aren't sports fan, maybe this topic might be interesting. But should there be salary caps? At some point, there has to be, right? Unless it stagnates, then, right? Unless it stagnates, there doesn't need salary caps. So what are your thoughts on salary caps in the LCS? Not in esports, but in the LCS as a whole. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. So I think they'll eventually get there, but not currently. So I think revenue sharing is a key to that, like in the NFL, right? So a team can do nothing but lose in the NFL, and they're going to be just as profitable as the Patriots and a team that's won for the last decade.
Yeah.
In the NBA, there's some different things that they do, like luxury caps and various things to make it
It's not a hard cap.
harder to get these super teams,
Yeah.
right? So
Supposedly, yeah.
I think LCS will get there. Right now, it's like Major League Baseball, where the highest bidder is going to get the best player. So Liquid's
why do I have
going
that?
to be
Why do
the
I have
Yankees
that?
for a while.
I honestly, I think salary caps would make it. I just don't think. Let's say
Yeah, but you
league.
can't because it's international. Remember that it's international, not national. So it's like it would be like watching a Major League Soccer team playing in La Liga or in the Premier League or something like that. It doesn't make sense because they're not getting paid nearly the same amounts as the international teams. So it's crazy. So when you have these international competitions with teams, I feel like you can't have a salary cap for your own league. I think that hampers it. Unless they change the international scene. Unless they change the international scene where it's more like a World Cup and you make all-star teams to send there, right? Like from NA, you're sending 5 guys from the NA that are representing them. So, and I don't see that happening because I like it being team-based. So I don't know. I don't think there probably should be salary caps. I think you leave it uncapped for a while and just hope for better partnerships and investors within the teams, so that way you can be more competitive, especially on the international stage. But I think it'll get there at some point.
I don't think it will. I think it will never get big enough where we will need to have salary cap. I just don't think the league. Like, let's be honest, guys. This show's not gonna be on for like 50 years from now. Like, it's just not. And it's not because of us, but it's because of the stat. I think I want to see at the end of this year. Don't give me the world's numbers. Give me the LCS numbers. If the viewership isn't steadily increasing like 5% each split or 4% each split, I just don't see a world where we ever get to the part big enough where we need to have salary caps. I don't think that'll ever work. I don't think the league will be ever that big. And I think with all these battle royals, I think with these games coming out, like I just feel like LCS. I'm not saying it's stagnated, but I just don't. I think there's a ceiling for LCS, and it's a limit where I don't think we'll ever see salary caps. And that's kind of shitty to say, but I just don't think. I was thinking about the other day. I was like, man, maybe League should have salary caps. I'm like, wait a minute, like it's not gonna get that big though. For it to get salary caps, it needs to be huge, right? It needs to be like what Overwatch wants to do almost. Which Overwatch will never get.
But let's talk about that. So it's like let's talk about the owners who aren't backed by professional teams. It's like, where does their money come from, right? And will they eventually sell out?
They have to or dilute them further. Yeah.
Right, to ownership that are in traditional sports, and therefore, I think the traditional sports where we see that, they're owning teams, except for Shaka, they have salary caps, so the owners are kind of used to that, and they want things to be like that's the most competitive way to do things, I believe. And so that will be interesting to see. I'm actually more interested to see how the Players Association starts to handle things in terms of contracts and and cutting and being screwed over because you remember it is still shocking to me that Phoenix is playing for Echo Fox after they straight up screwed him last split, right?
Phoenix had a great.
So
Phoenix
I'm
been playing
interested.
well, by
I'm
the way.
interested to see how that goes
yeah.
because that will play into contract negotiations too. So it's going to change. They want to be like traditional sports, so I'm kind of excited to see how esports grows as we're on kind of the birth of something as it's cropping up in colleges we're aware of. It's been that way for a couple years, but now high schools are starting to pick up esports. Even one of my local high schools now has an esports club or organization.
Any local colleges have it or not?
It's starting to. I mean, not. I don't think so. Like, I'm kind of near Chicago, so I think. What's their name? Chicago.
Valpo might have one. Valpo might have one.
No, I don't think Valpo.
Illinois,
they don't have like
maybe Illinois then.
Not an elite team, but yeah, a bunch of colleges have clubs, but I'm talking where they give scholarships for it, right?
Yeah.
So, those are kind of big things, and I do see it growing. I see technology growing, so I don't think video games are going anywhere. It might not be League of Legends, but it's going to be something. It's going to be something. One thing League of Legends has going for us is it's not broadcasted or marketed as a shooting game, right? Because that's when you're talking about school in a school setting, you don't really want shooting games being broadcast. So I think that's where it has an advantage over something even like now Apex Legends and Fortnite and Overwatch, because it's not a shooting game. It's not a first-person shooter. It's a strategy game. It's a MOBA. It's very different from that. So I think that's the benefit for a game like this. It might not be League of Legends, but I don't see video games going anywhere in the future with how technology is changing. All the schools in our area, and this is my last, I'll get off my soapbox. They're going to, it's called 1-to-1, right? So it's like every kid has their own internet-enabled device.
Wow.
It's becoming, like every school,
nice
like
for
you
you,
have a
Liv.
laptop.
Fuck.
If a snow day happens, like you don't have to make it up at the end of the year. You have an e-learning day. Everybody gets on their laptop. They do their lesson at home, and then you get the work done. So technology is such a huge part in education now, and I think colleges to compete will start offering more incentives for people to come to their school and do their computer science program and their networking programs and various things. And I think video games will be a big part of that competitive nature of colleges themselves. So I don't see it going anywhere. I'm excited to see how it's going. I think we're on the cusp of something. So we'll see in 5 years from now. Maybe I'm totally wrong.
Kind of as a side off topic, Jensen becomes a resident at the end of this year, I think, for Team Liquid. Let that sink in. Jensen will become a resident at the end of this year. That is just that's insane. Talk about how Team Liquid has all this flexibility. Think about it.
It is, I guess.
If Impact or Smithy, sits in bed, who just say Con or someone? I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah, you get Peanut in there.
Peanut's dog shit, but he's a dog. But you know what I'm saying? Like maybe who just say maybe get what with Steve's money? Remember those salary caps? Get the Shy from China. Well, Chinese money is way bigger than what American money has. But
right.
Hey,
no, it's interesting to see where things go for sure.
That's for sure. DBSP, do you have our overall win-loss record for picks or not?
I do.
All right, give it to me before I start so I can post it on YouTube.
Yeah. So for sure. So week 3 I was 6-4. You were 5-5, and week 4 just last week I was 5-5, and you were 6-4. So we're all square up. We're all squared up at 11-9.
11-9. Look at that, boys. That's because we know our shit. That's because we know our fucking shit.
Right. Yeah.
All right,
we're no high.
Let's talk about these picks here. I'm gonna start us off.
Yeah.
Optic at 100 Thieves. Who you got, DBSP? I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. I'm gonna have drum roll, please, boys. 100 Thieves.
Yeah. Gosh, you got me all hyped for your counter pick. I'm picking 100 Thieves as well. I was hoping you'd pick Optic.
We're not even gonna pick this game, right? It's just we both have. Mark mine down. You know who I'm gonna have for the Liquid Echo Fox. You know who I have.
Oh, who you got?
Liquid. I mean, let's move on. You do too. Let's move on.
I do too. Now, I feel bad every time I miss an Echo Fox game. I feel bad because I'm like, darn it, I should just pick them to go 2-0 every week and not look bad. All right, fun one next time. Who you got?
Clutch Quarter Guardians. This is actually not game of the day, but it's like fucking it's like
not even
in a weird it's a weird way. It's like the just weird like This is gonna be competitive. This is a big game for both games. This is gonna be a big game for the clutch game though, because I can see them just blowing up after this game. Like they don't beat Golden Guardians. I'm gonna go with clutch gaming. Even though I'm going to go against the odds. Golden Guardians have looked a lot better. I'm gonna go with clutch gaming. I think clutch gaming is gonna step up. I mean, if Hooney can't push his best against Hanser, no hope for this team. I'm going with clutch gaming. Actually, this is where I think I can hopefully spit you and get one.
Yeah, I'm going Golden Guardians, so this is where we're going head to head, and we'll see what happens. Hanser's gonna here's a quote of the day. Hanser's gonna pull up that Vlad top and just shit all over Hooney.
That's
He's gonna meme on him. All right, let's keep going.
FlyQuest C9. I actually have C9. I think C9 is a better team overall, even though FlyQuest might have some advantage here or there. Jungle advantage goes to FlyQuest. Think everywhere else. Mid's a push. Everywhere else, Cloud9. I go Cloud9.
I'm picking Cloud9, but I really want FlyQuest to win this game.
That'd be spicy as fuck, yeah.
It would be because I think they're still playing better as a team than anybody else. So we'll see. Pobelter versus Niski. We'll see some spice there, I hope. So,
yeah.
All right. So that's probably game of the day, right? And then
FlyQuest is game of the day, absolutely, yep.
It's our 2 and 3 teams, so that's a pretty good one. And then TSM and CLG. Ooh, this is a tough one for you. You got to pick with your head and not your heart. I am going TSM. What you got? You there? Hello?
I'm gonna go with TSM, guys.
No, come on.
Who I think? I think TSM has. I'm not saying they've crossed the line, but I think we're going to see a TSM that's kind of stronger. I think TSM is probably going to be slightly ahead. Honestly, I'm afraid of Broken by Darshan. They got to get Darshan in the most neutral top they can. If Darshan loses gracefully, CLG has a good chance to win the game. They really do. Because Power Evo Bjergsen's not a big matchup. I think bot lane is a push. So I think CLG can easily win this game. I'm going to go with TSM because that top lane scares me. So it's TSM.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Fun one. First game of the day on Sunday.
I'm going Golden Guardians, even though I have CG winning Saturday. I have Golden Guardians on Sunday. I just think Golden Guardians should be slightly ahead of Echo Fox. Again, Echo Fox, my paper is dog shit, but
you got Echo Fox going 0-2 on a week, playing a weaker team on Sunday. You are crazy, man.
Go ahead.
Okay, Echo Fox all the way. Echo Fox all the way in this one. Echo Fox all the way.
Optic and Clutch. Honestly,
my ninth and 10th place team. You're something crazy like 7th and 10th place team.
Man, I might get roasted this week. I might just get fucking shit on this week. I am gonna go with Clutch. Hold on.
Clutch that 2-0 week. You got a lot of belief.
Hold on. I just don't feel good about this game. This is the one game I just don't feel good about. I'm believers in Clutch, boys. I'm going to say I'm believers in Clutch.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. You got a lot of faith in Clutch this week. I'm actually picking Clutch here, too. Not because I have faith in them, but because I have less faith in Optics.
Yeah.
So Optics got to show me something. Clutch could, geez, brutal. Okay, let's keep going. Cloud9, CLG.
Guys, CLG won the first round again. I think it'd be closer, but honestly, I'm going to go with Counter Logic Gaming because A, they're Counter Logic, and B, they always play well against Cloud9. If you guys pull up every CLG Cloud9 matchup, even last when CLG was dog shit, they just compete super, super well with Cloud9. I thought it was a Zix thing, but if they have CLG is a good coach here. I'm going to go with CLG with a massive upset here, and hopefully I can get one on you in this game.
Yeah, I'm going Cloud9. I'm just going straight power ranking here. Wouldn't actually shock me if CLG won
plays
this
well
game,
against Cloud9, yeah.
Yeah, I could see them being hyped for this game, and they're kind of the underdogs. But I think top difference is all I have to say in this game.
TSM,
and Licorice is going to carry this game for sure. So C9. Next, okay, this is a fun one. Probably game of the day.
Yeah,
for Sunday.
Absolutely game of the day. TSM has both game of the days this week. I'm going to go with TSM, guys. I think TSM is just going to be a little bit more than FlyQuest. Yeah, they'll have a little bit more push of FlyQuest. This is going to be a super, super close game, though. Might be a really, really just macro, just slow, just a really just like take it minute by minute game. I think this could be like one of the most like kind of like tense, on edge kind of games that we've had in a while. in a weird way because I think these are two teams that definitely want to win this game. I have TSM. I think TSM is gonna come through. I mean, a lot of faith in TSM.
I don't really want to. Well, I kind of want to pick TSM, but I don't see FlyQuest going 0-2. Like I just don't.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
fair.
take Fly here. I'm gonna take Fly here. It wouldn't shock me if they actually beat C9 on Saturday. But if C9 does win that one, I'm definitely picking FlyQuest to beat TSM. I think their teamwork has just been too good. Now, once again, I think TSM has improved. I think last week was really good for them. But yeah, I'm picking FlyQuest here. Last game.
This is easy. This is Team Liquid. I think 100 Thieves is a team that can compete against Team Liquid. If 100 Thieves was playing at their best, I think this would be like a game where Team Liquid could be kind of like shaky about because 100 Thieves could do a 1-3-1, and Team Liquid has no idea how to play against 1-3-1, in my opinion, DBSB. But 100 Thieves, they didn't even get to that part, so I'm going Team Liquid, 100%, book it.
I'm going Liquid like you thought TSM last week could beat Liquid. If you'd have put your money where your mouth was, that would have been big time.
Yeah, that would have been big time. Yep.
They can win this game, but I still think Liquid's the best, and I think the loss last week is the best thing to happen to this team. So I think they go 2-0. That'll do.
That'll do. Anyone want to call in? Vulcan, Nightmare, any guys want to call in? Vulcan, do you want to call in? Vulcan had a question for us. Correct. Anyone want to call in? Vulcan says, after the TSM upset on TL, where do we see TSM going from here on out? We talked about that earlier, Vulcan. We talked about that earlier. DBSB, what I say, I just said basically how TSM, especially this week, I think TSM, they haven't crossed the line and be like, okay, we're here. But I think TSM, they could be a top 4 team. Smoothie and Spinskary need to step up. They need to be more consistent. But I see a TSM team, their identity, they don't have it yet, but they want to be more aggressive. They want to be more proactive. And the Canadians actually help with that, DBSB, to be honest with you. So because of that,
You're probably right.
I think TSM is definitely going better and better. Where their end game is, Vulcan, I think if they play at their best, I think it'll be 3rd or 4th range. I still have them as a top 4 team come end of split. But right now, it's week by week. I think Zix is working well with him. I think Acadian is giving him a new look, even though he doesn't know how to. He's improved a ton on his mid game, late game team fighting, shot calling. I think Smoothie's got to be on a more better pace with Sven. But 3rd or 4th is where I have at the end of the split, Vulcan. DBSB?
Yeah, they'll definitely make the playoffs. I don't see them missing the playoffs. They can finish anywhere from 2 to 6, honestly, based on their consistency. It wouldn't shock me if they finish. Everybody's playing for 2nd, right? Like, I don't think anybody beats Liquid in a best of 3 or 5. So I think TSM can beat basically everybody else in a series if it gets there. So I'd say ceiling 2nd. We both have them 4th in our rankings right now. So we'll find out.
Absolutely. Vulcan, I answered it right there. We're both living at 9, Vulcan. But this week we have some spicy picks, Vulcan. Right, DBS? We have some spicy picks this week. Some very spicy picks.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the spice is. What's the spice? You've got CLG over Cloud9. That's pretty spicy.
Well, Vulcan, we're both ahead of Mark Z, though. We're both ahead of most of the analyst stats besides High. We're picking better than LCS Rise. So you're dog shit.
They're pretty much below 500. So
this could be
been tough.
This could be a record. Anyone else want to have questions for us? Nightmare, Vulcan, correction, anyone else? But yeah, this could be your picks are more solid than mine. I think this.
Basically, what's hurt me, Vulcan. What's hurt me is I've picked against Golden Guardians the last 2 weeks, and they've gone 3-1, right? So that's a bunch of losses. But I think you would have picked against them too. And I've screwed up my Echo Fox's 1-1s that I planned on. So that's the difference.
Why do you see CLG versus C9 this upcoming week? Vulcan, well, I hate to talk about history because every week's the same. History does not matter. We talked about this earlier when I picked CLG versus C9. Just historically, if you look at the last 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, last 8 games they played against each other, CLG always plays against C9. They beat him early this split, even though I feel like by Sunday they're going to have a fix to Darshan to see how he doesn't lose against Licorice. So I think they'll fix from their TSM game. They have a better chance to beat Clean than TSM, in my opinion. I really do believe that. So because of that, I have CLG ahead of Cloud9, and I could definitely see Cloud9 as a team that kind of gets cocky, even though they're 6-2 or 4-2 right now, or I think they're 6-2. Yeah, they're 6-2 right now.
They have 6-2.
Yeah, 6-2 right now. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say they have to stick Darshawn on a tank,
Yep.
not an Aatrox, not a fighter,
Yeah.
a tank,
Bruiser, yeah.
and say hold top, prepare for late game, and then they just have to play around the bottom half of the map. That's like their only chance. They have to play for mid and bot lane and just ignore Darshawn entirely. I don't think they give him help. I think they stick him on a tank and say, don't go 0-6 in lane, please. So
Yeah, and that's a big week for CLG though.
that's their chance, and then they hope they win team fights.
CL-
If Cloud9's smart, they ban out Scion, and then they win the game automatically.
Ask Sabonis, Sabonis, you want to answer that question because it's at you.
Sure. Yeah, we talked about it a little earlier. I think the fact that Rush had played in
By the
Korea,
way, DBSP knows Rick okay, he has inside sources. Go ahead, answer the question. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Don't say anything. Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. Don't respond to my comment.
I like Rush. I think he helps that team. I think he and Phoenix really have good chemistry. I think they're both really good from that team, and I think his experience in Korea last year helps him play the macro a lot better.
Yeah,
like they're not just looking for stupid fights. He's playing objectives really well, and he's helping control the map and get the fights that they want for the most part. And I think that's how they've been 500, right? So they're 4-4 right now. Beating FlyQuest turns out to be a really good win because FlyQuest I think has been better than advertised, and I think solo is still a liability as
shit, yeah.
Top is such a premier position, this split entirely, but I think Hakuo and Apollo have been a huge surprise to most people. They're definitely they've been performing like one of the better bot lane duos of the split, so it's going to be it's just going to be really interesting. Really interesting to see how they finish. I'd be happy with 6th. I think they can finish maybe top 4, but definitely it wouldn't shock me if they miss the playoffs either.
If they make the playoffs, two things: A, they're going to show you how fucking bad LCS is, and B, that coaching staff and Phoenix.
Well, you know who they have, right? Song, right? So everybody 2 years ago, or I guess the year before last, everybody was talking up Song like he's the best.
And then he was on TSM.
Yeah, and then TSM. Eventually, it didn't work out, but yeah, I think he'd be pretty good. So, yeah, I think top lane is the weakness. I think Rush has controlled pretty well, and I think bot lane is for sure their strength right now. Like they're getting so like they don't need their jungler. They're getting kills in lane, which relieves so much pressure on the rest of the map. So they have to keep performing at that level if they want to do well. So that's exactly the key. They have to keep performing at the bot lane how they have been. And with these new meta changes in 9.3, I don't see that continuing, right? Like I think they'll eventually get outclassed, but they've been really good so far.
I think, yeah, and Echo Fox is a team that I'm surprised. Like on paper, I think they're a bottom 3 team, bottom 2 team, but they're playing well. Phoenix playing well. Their bot lane's playing super solid.
Right, and I think because bot lanes just relieve pressure on the rest of the map. So I think that's really been their difference so far. I think they scrapped out some wins just because.
For sure. All right, guys, that'll do it. DBSP, do you have any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I'll close it out. But do you have any questions or any not questions, but any last statements? Anything?
Yeah, this is my last statement for anybody who's stuck around here. Is like I would really encourage everybody to start watching LCS. Like I don't know if everybody here watches pro play, but they should because this is really interesting. We get to see more, I would say, non-traditional picks, and it definitely helps you out in solo queue. Just paying attention to these small things. So keep watching LCS. Keep supporting. That's why we do this show, and keep supporting esports in general. Like I guess we're kind of old guys now, right? But it's exciting to us as a video game generation. So keep watching pro play, and hopefully you guys can join these discussions. Maybe you guys see some things differently than we see them, and this answering questions, debating this is what makes it fun for us. That's it. Have a good stream. I will talk to you later.
Thank you, guys. And like I said, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate all the love, support, guys, that you guys have, and thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks, guys. That was week 5 of the show, guys. Thank you, everyone. If you want to come in, watch this live, go to our Twitch channel. Thank you. Volker, what's your last question? I'll answer it. It's your last question. But thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it, guys. This is our week 5 tier list coming into week 5. Should be episode 5, so show 5. Week 4 tier list going into week 5, guys. Thank you so much. I want to thank DBSP for showing up today, as he does every week, and giving us his deep, insightful commentary. I want to thank the Vulcan and everyone else who asked questions, was talking in chat. Thank you so much for everyone for watching the show, guys. Please, you can call in, type in Twitch chat. You guys can't see on the show right now, but in my other monitor, we have questions. We're filling in questions. So thank you guys so much and really appreciate it. Last question before we go is, who on TSM is going to benefit most from that win on TL last week? Broken Blade. I was going to say Kane as well, DBSB. I was going to say Kane. The question from the Vulcan. Great question, by the way, the Vulcan. I'm giving you a shout out, Vulcan. Who on TSM is going to benefit most from that win on TL last week? DBSB says Broken Blade for sure. I actually think maybe Acadian, because he's a conference player. Maybe they can give him more confidence, and that's scary. Giving Acadian confidence in him just ganking Broken Blade back over and over again. I think Broken Blade kind of has the confidence already. So I think Acadian. But thank you so much, folks. Again, DBSP, thank you for showing up. Thank you for you who's watching this, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch stream. Thank you so much. Thanks for chatting, asking questions, guys, in chat. Thank you so much. Every Tuesday, 8 to 9. This is the feed, guys. Peace out. Drop comments down below if you guys wish. But thank you so much, guys. Peace. Peace.